Yesterday, June 21st, a day which will live in infamy, the Islamic Republic of Iran was suddenly and deliberately attacked by aerial bombing forces of the United States of America. I'm not quite Roosevelt, but similar. With this one act, the US officially entered the Israel-Iran war. Here's what mainstream media might tell you, followed by what mainstream media almost definitely won't tell you. First, what they will tell you. Iran is currently claiming that the entrances and exits to Fordow nuclear facility are all that was struck by these B-2 bombers and their massive MOP payloads, which means Iran is saying their nuclear facilities have not been eliminated. Furthermore, Iran, many sources are suggesting, prepared for this scenario where the US, under Israeli lobby pressure, steps into the ring despite Iran not escalating to justify the US stepping into the ring. They prepared for this, as some of the astute in my comment section points out. In preparation, those reports suggest Iran moved their critical enriched uranium out of these facilities and shifted them completely elsewhere. Location? Undisclosed, unknown. If indeed true, and Israeli intelligence were not aware, well then Iran very much could still go nuclear. And especially after restraint on its part has been punished rather than rewarded. It's been punished by further escalation from the other side, despite Iran not doing anything to escalate on their side. Then Iran may indeed decide that withdrawal from the non-proliferation treaty and a sprint to assemble a working nuke is the best way forward to deter the enemies of Iran. Here's what mainstream media won't tell you. As many have pointed out, Israel and the US by extension at this moment in history do not seem to respect restraint. The only language they understand is that of strength and violence. Here's the problem though. For Iran to use violence in response to the violence the US used on it, it's near certain to escalate things further. So you could get the message across that, we can respond with strength, but it will lead to escalation, which, as you will know if you've been following me, I say Iran's tactic here, Iran's long-term goal is to prevent escalation. And Israel would love for further escalation to bring the whole region into chaos, and then Israel can disable its adversaries from the strongest to the weakest, so that later down the line it can establish some sort of greater Israel gambit, right? Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't be justified for Iran to escalate by responding in an aggressive manner, but it would play into Israeli hands. That's basically what I'm saying. Because Israel and the US will take retaliation by Iran as an excuse for another escalation. If Iran goes down that route, then today may not just be the closing scene of the Israel-Iran conflict where a celebrity, the United States, showed up as a cameo near the end just before the credits rolled, but instead it could be the start of a real, drawn-out Middle Eastern war. How many trillions is it going to cost the US this time? Ask the citizens. They are absolutely shattered by this. By and large, the American citizens are shattered by this decision by Trump to initiate this war. These first 10 days of the Israel-Iran fighting would then just be a prequel. This is where the film sort of title comes onto the screen. This was just the start. This was just the intro. It wasn't the whole film. Like Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald, where the film name comes up only after Grindelwald has actually escaped prison. Anyway, Operation Midnight Hammer. That's what the US called their B-2 bomber strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. Has it actually struck though? Is what everyone is asking. Has it actually struck, effectively, neutralized in any capacity Iran's nuclear facilities and knocked them out? Or has it instead signaled midnight for America, actually, the turning point, after which it will never be said again that the United States is a respectable nation on the world stage? Is it the turning point that history looks back at and says, this exactly, see here, this June 21st, this is where America truly lost its grip of reality and abandoned the so-called rules-based world order that they themselves built. It was one set of rules for the West and another set of rules for the rest. That was kind of understood, but they had this aura of, we've built a fair world led by the West. Well, they completely torpedoed that on June 21st. Time will tell if that is the case. And for the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I'm Mahfouz, and I'll see you on the next one.